and gentlemen, Nick, before we got interrupted, I was asking you about John Cena.
John Cena, I love it, man. I love the heel turn.
Okay.
I hate the fact that he waited so late in his career to
Yeah.
do the heel turn. But to say this is my man's farewell tour, I'm a rock with it.
Um, I like the heel turn too. I think it's the best thing he's ever done. Um, I find it ironic that Nikki Bella is coming back next week. That locker room just got a lot more tense.
Yes. Because weren't they married or
well,
planning to get married or something like that?
he was running the charges up, but he ain't never paid a bill. I mean, he asked her,
Right.
you know what I mean? But after a while, he slid off. He slid
Right.
on. And
Right. He said he didn't want
yeah,
kids. She said
yeah,
something about he
he
didn't want
slid
kids, something
on.
like
You
that.
know what I mean? Shout out to him. He knew what he was doing.
Right. Right.
Oh no, man. I mean, shit, they do it to
Right.
us all the time. So anytime, I ain't gonna begrudge him for doing what she did. She would have did. Look,
Right. So okay, since you bringing up the John Cena topic, I might get some backlash
okay,
when you hear this, but I'm gonna just say it anyway. John Cena is the greatest of all times.
okay.
17.
So 17 is
Oh, for
not
real.
the biggest number in history.
I know
There's a
17.
gentleman out of Tennessee named Jerry the King Lawler who won more world championships than John Cena and Ric Flair combined. I think he would have pretty much umbrage to say what you saying. John Cena is he's the greatest of this era. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll accept that.
But to say of all time, he ain't even the greatest money maker in wrestling history. So how we gonna judge it? Because a fictitious booker said we gonna make you champ 17 times? I mean, shit, they made Ric Flair champ 26 and only said 16.
True.
But
Uh,
but see, John Cena, one of
uh
them wrestlers. This how you gauge it. Can I drop you in 1980 and find a way to make money with you? And the answer is yeah. You just put some paint on that motherfucker, he sting. Damn, there you go. So his career would translate,
true.
and that's how you judge. I just, you can't say greatest of all time. You can say greatest WWE star, and I think he should be because they got tired of being affiliated with Ric Flair and all the bullshit. So why not make it somebody like John
Right.
Cena he ain't gonna give you no bad publicity going forward. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna be swinging his dick at women on the motherfucking plane or getting too drunk on bourbon, panning niggas on the ass. He ain't gonna do none of that. So they like, yeah, let's
Right.
go ahead. It was the greatest professional move they could have made.
Right. 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 Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
Okay,
say it
so
right
so
there. Well,
so
you
who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
my favorite wrestler of all time, John Cena.
All right. Defend your favorite wrestler.
I'm a John Cena. I'm a John
Okay.
Cena kid,
Okay.
man. I'm
Okay.
a John Cena guy, man. I grew up with John Cena. John Cena
Mm,
was around my
mm.
whole life.
All right. So check this out. They got all that old wrestling on Peacock, right?
Oh man. Not to cut you off, man. Don't get me started with Peacock, man. Man, I love Peacock. Peacock. I learned some stuff on Peacock I didn't
Okay.
even know
Okay.
about,
I
man.
want, I
I
want you to go
actually.
watch Mid South Wrestling, right? It's gonna be a little boring at first, but there's a black
Uh huh.
man by the name of Butch Reed. You know what I mean? I just want you to
Uh
watch him.
huh.
He gonna change your whole perspective on wrestling.
Okay. Put
Yeah,
that in
watch
my
Butch
notes.
Reed. Don't go watch that WWF shit. That ain't what I'm talking about. Go watch the Mid
Okay.
South Wrestling. They gonna have two
Okay.
things that gonna stand out: Junkyard Dog and Butch Reed. And you know him as the $1 Million Man. I just call him Ted DiBiase. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he'll change your whole perspective on wrestling. Anytime somebody ask me who my favorite wrestler of all time is, it's Butch Reed. All that shit you see Bobby Lashley and them doing, all that shit you see Booker T and them
Uh,
doing, yeah, that nigga was doing it back when niggas couldn't
right.
do it. Finally somebody
Okay.
black on the show and I can talk how I'm supposed to talk. If you white people are watching this, you can't say what I just said.
Right. True
Okay,
that.
so they got everybody with the R-Truth thing. They didn't just get me, they got everybody. So
Mm,
yeah.
I feel Triple H is bogus with that. Triple H is bogus with
I
that.
mean, hey, that was the best publicity the WWE ever received. And quiet it kept. I
Right.
believe they was gonna not renew his contract until they got the backlash. And they
That what it
found a
was.
way to weave it into the story.
Yep. That's exactly what it was because Ruba has it. Well, sources say that earlier the decision was made to release R-Truth earlier this year.
Hey, see, they want to get rid of all them big
But
money contracts.
right, because you got to think about it, man. John Cena, he just had the feud with John Cena, the Ron Cena merch. That was the number one. That was the number one merch in WWE. I want to say that for the
I
last month
wanna
or
I
last couple
wanna
weeks.
know, and this I wanna know, if we're gonna get Run the Truth killings, or y'all gonna continue with R-Truth? This would be a great way to segue him into his last run, but it with a serious edge to him. I don't want the old R-Truth. I hate the fact that people who look like me and my uncles and cousins and shit, they have to be the comedians, they have to be the jokesters of the show. I just hate that shit.
Right,
But
right. His heel turn in what year that was? I want to say 2010, 2011. That was a pretty good heel turn he had when he had the feud with John Cena. What was that his tag team
okay,
partner? The Rock?
okay. So what did they do with that?
Pretty much nothing. You're right after that. They told him right
Yeah,
back into the
he's a
jokester.
clown. They wanted him to be the mascot of the WWE. I'm not gonna even call him a clown. He made so much money and transcended what they wanted him to do, because, as CJ tried to say earlier, with the athletes, a 5'2" player gonna be a 5'2" player no matter what the fuck you do. So he was gonna
Right,
end up at the top of your list in some form or fashion no matter what.
right.
He
Yeah, that's 100% dead on
he
factuals right
cut
there.
a promo in 2007 in TNA that to me was the greatest promo he ever cut. And they they shifted their whole programming and put the NWA 10 pounds of gold world heavyweight championship on, to go from
Right,
a guy with the same title that Harley Racing Ric Flair held, to sitting in a meeting with JR and him telling me this still a cracker sport. I mean, a white man sport. He still made it work though. You see what I'm saying?
facts.
So when you, after 17 years, you cut him the first time, he slid, you were good. You brought him back after that 17-year run, you were gonna cut him. The fans was like, no, you can cut the rest of them. But yeah, we like this motherfucker. So they brought him
Yeah,
back.
they ain't had no choice.
I mean, yeah, because again, AEW waiting in the wings, man. The best thing they got on TV is Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin and the Hurt Syndicate. So they waiting to catch something. They like, shit, what you getting up over there? They
Right.
if you
Right.
TNA,
Yeah,
if
Nick.
you TNA, you want AJ Styles to get cut so he can come home and have his final run, and they can quit making your world title look like a a third rate fucking indie title. For the past
Right.
20 years, you've been the second promotion, but you letting them put your wrestlers with a bunch of motherfucking I don't give a fuck. NXT is a development brand. Anytime you put me with a
Right.
development brand, you're cheapening my brand. Ain't no motherfucking, oh, you getting more eye. Get more eye than what? AAA is the greatest fucking lucha promotion in the world, and they just did a YouTube show with your fucking WWE ended. Shit, it's your development brand. So
Right.
I ain't fed up with TKO. I'm fed up with the WWE. See, TKO came
With
in
the
and
WWE.
turned WWE into the same monetization they did, like you said previously with the UFC. Except they able to do it bigger and better with the WWE. They can put shit in the middle of the ring. They can put it on the TV screen. They can put prime bottles up in the corner. They can do all kind of weird shit. And when
Right.
Vince was like, "Nah, we ain't doing none of that. That's too far." That's why you like, "Nah, that's too far," because you been conditioned to not see that shit. So it's foreign to you, and you like, "What the fuck is this?"
Right.
But when TKO came in, it then turned into a race for money. They don't give a fuck about the casual fan because you can watch it at home. They're
Mm-hmm.
turning it into a real money sport to where you got to bid on this shit just like you do the UFC. A small town like
Yeah.
Indiana or Kentucky, y'all will never get another WrestleMania. I don't give a fuck. It's gonna end up in Dubai. After Las
Yeah.
Vegas whore it out for a little while, they're gonna end up in Dubai. It's turning
That
into
was
a race for money. So everything you don't
right.
like, you're gonna continue to see.
Yeah.
Hey, but Tim, I didn't mean to cut you, but you know that what happened when anytime you get a board involved, bro. In any business, anytime you get a board involved, bro, you gonna have changes because the number one thing is the bottom line. You know
Yep.
that.
And TKO treating the WWE just like it's Amazon. You see what I'm saying? They gonna churn
Yeah.
that motherfucker out to the higher bidder because they are the leading brand in fucking sports entertainment. I ain't gonna say wrestling because they don't wrestle. You know what I mean? What they did on YouTube, but they didn't show nobody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so would you like to transition to the YouTube show Worlds Collide? In '94,
Oh
when I
yeah.
saw Worlds Collide in '94, it cost me like $35. 30 years later, you can watch it on the streaming service.
I actually enjoyed World Collide
Okay,
yesterday.
what did I miss? Okay, outside of the Chad Gable and El Hijo Dan Van Kingo, what the fuck did I miss? Because that was an AEW show. If I ever fucking seen an AEW show, and I done seen them, I done seen pay-per-views and
Right.
shit. Bro, they got a motherfucker down there called Iguana Man or some shit like that.
The Iguana Man.
Hey,
Yeah, I was
that
I was I
motherfucker
was
over to the new generation. To me, that is a comedian rap. That is your definition of what a comedian wrestler is. Iguana Man. And he over like a motherfucker already. They like, oh yeah, give us this stupid shit.
yeah, they like him. Right. Right. Yeah, I feel like I actually enjoyed the Chad Gable match, and I actually tuned in to watch my boy Javon Ellis from
Okay,
NXT because
that's
I've been watching.
we
I've been
love
I've been following my guy since Jay Malachi, his original name.
that's the NXT North American four way, right? With Ray Phoenix and dude from TNA, fucking Ethan
Ethan
Page. Yeah.
Page.
Hey, here's something don't know about it. I bet you everybody forgot. When Ethan Page first broke into wrestling, he was a TNA superstar and he was a Biss cousin or brother or some stupid shit like that.
Actually, I do remember that. I think I seen that on TikTok. It actually ran across my TikTok, and I seen that. A lot of these stars came through WWE that are big names at another
Yeah.
companies.
Eli Drake was damn, yeah. He was he LA Knight now. He was Eli Drake. Um, yeah.
Swerve,
So
Swerve Strickland,
he was who?
Swerve.
Hmm.
I forgot Swerve's name when he was in NXT,
It
but
still
Swerve
was
Strickland,
swerve. It
Swerve in
still had
NXT.
some swerve on it. You know what I mean? See,
Yeah, I just can't remember.
here's the thing. TNA has conditioned themselves to want to be the little brother. When they got that 5-year contract, I told Ross, I ain't gonna tell his last name, the gentleman, Caucasian fella who run Impact Wrestling, they should have been fixing a
Right.
5-year TV deal with an actual fucking streaming service. But yet he decided it was best for business to turn his wrestlers into second, third rate superstars. Because you come behind the superstars in NXT, you're there to get their younger stars over. They brought
Right.
you in and gave you a 5-year contract to turn your whole federation into the job squad. And you signed on for it like it was the greatest shit ever. If I was
Right.
Moose, I'd be like, hey Tony, how much you gonna pay me? Man, hey, me and Moskers didn't do no jobs. And if Moose, if you hear this, don't do no jobs. Don't do no jobs. Fuck that. Joe Henry was hot as fish grease and he lost the fucking Trick Williams. You young, explain that to me. What the fuck am I seeing?
I was just as shocked as you when I seen that because I'm like,
Oh
there's
no,
no
no, no.
way
I
in
was not.
hell
I
I'm
wasn't
letting.
shocked. I was expecting them to do that.
Oh no, I was pretty shocked. I was pretty shocked at that. But no. I actually told you the untruth just now because it made a whole lot of sense to me because I was looking at it like this: with Joe Hendry losing the championship to Trick Williams, that would have been a perfect time for him to sign a WWE contract.
Even in storyline, the historical value say it worked better with AJ Styles.
Right. We all know that. We know AJ Styles is the greatest TNA
And
champion of
yes,
all
you
time.
put but yet, instead of giving me Joe Henry versus the phenomenal AJ Styles, you gave me Joe Henry versus Trick Williams. You already
Trick
shrinking the
Williams.
title. You shrinking the
Right.
bill. And Ross is sitting there like, yeah, just give me that 5-year fucking. Yeah, that's what he's doing. You getting fucked. You getting fucked. And
Not
you
only
seem to
that,
like
like they I didn't even like how they did Joe Hendry at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. Like they played over him at WrestleMania, and I'm looking like,
it. Yeah,
wow.
okay, so my world champion, right? My world champion
Right.
can't even go 10 minutes with a WWE legend. It's out of the fucking question. Randy Orton been in the game 20 years. Joe Henry ain't no fucking rookie. But again, he man, this basically
Right.
they John Cena and they 5 minute fuck this man at rap. Billions of people watch that. So now again,
Big.
you shrinking the title. You shrinking the title. And then AJ Styles gonna run up to him after the event. Was like it was the greatest shit ever because they just shrunk your legacy on TV and you cool with it. Because everybody drinking the Kool-Aid.
Right. Right.
And now if you CMLL, you waiting on Tony to come on in and just be like, shit, give me some money, man. Because you know they coming. The WWE is
Right.
creating their own territory. Triple A, before NXT, before long, that 5-year deal with TNA will be up and they will buy Impact Wrestling and that will be their development system and they will have created the territories they need to farm out the guys that they don't want no more
Right.
and farm in young talent that they do want. The shit is genius, but it's a monopoly.
Right.
But when you already at the top of the food chain, what else can you do other than eat your competition? So Tony Khan sitting over in the corner like, yeah, I ain't doing none of that shit.
Oh, this nigga left.
They
You're right.
they're
Right, bro.
gonna run they live event. I think it's Double the Net in Texas, June 12th, and
Uh-huh.
they programmed NXT Great American Bash on the same day for free. You can watch it on Peacock. Now the same tactic was applied in the 80s in reverse. Vince McMahon ran
Right.
SummerSlam and Jim Crockett Promotions ran the first ever Clash of the Champions. This shit is it's funny because in wrestling all you can do is repeat some shit that already happened. But the
Right.
WWE poking the bean now. Tony Khan like, yeah, that money y'all made, I made that off a bump. For those who don't know,
Right.
Tony Khan father got rich because he created the bumper for your car. he fucking ridiculous. He'll never run out of
Right.
money.
Yeah, Tony Khan, Tony. Pretty
Yeah,
straight.
he's super good. That's why he like, yeah, y'all don't want to pay Roman Reigns just to bring you back, just to
I
bring you
think.
back. Y'all don't want to pay Roman. Hey, Joe, how much money you want and how many dates you need? Your biggest.
Yeah, you-
It's like you learn nothing from the NWO. It's like you learn nothing. If
right.
you let Joe Ioane walk over to AEW, he can hand Zilla Fatu a 5-year contract. And now I got not just the best Samoan, I got the other one too. So now you just gonna hand
Right.
me everything I need to again kick your motherfucking ass. Cause it can be done. We seen
Right.
the
It most definitely can be
The
done.
WWE give you just enough wrestling to keep you coming back. They actually a promo company. When you watch them on Monday nights, you're going to get more promos than wrestling. Just enough wrestling to say you seen something. But it's all about the microphone.
Yep.
AEW don't have enough microphone. They give you too much wrestling. Well, what they think wrestling is, that's really, what they doing is modern day ECW, which I hated back then. So I
Right.
still do.
Okay. Okay. So, so my man, how you feel about Money in the Bank last night?
Well, I felt like I said, I like the Chad Gable match. I'm gonna give you that. Most of that other shit was just lucha madness. They introduced the world to some
Mm.
new stars. They introduced you to
Right.
what they knew brand of AAA gonna be. Alberto Del Rio somewhere with a gun, want to kill somebody.
That's why the that that's why that picture of them was at the arena.
Okay,
The
for
police
those
officers
who don't know what I'm talking about, Alberto Del Rio is the greatest AAA champion of all time. He
agreed. I
He
can
was
agree
the
on that.
current champion till about 3 days ago when they made an announcement before the match even happened, and they put El Van the Viking Nick at the champion before he even had the match. So Alberto was like, "Damn, I still ain't welcome back." He know he was fired. He know he was out. You see what I'm saying? He found out on TV. That's
Right.
some cold shit. Like, yeah, you know you out, bro. And if it's still about the paid situation, and Xavier Woods got a job, and I don't know what happened to the white fella,
Well,
but
I don't think he has a job with WWE anymore.
yeah, but you know, I'm just saying, like, how long? It's her body, man. How long we gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
She don't even work there. They just like,
Right.
they just like
But
you had her tied up somewhere when you with it. I mean,
right.
okay, we seen what
I'm pretty sure he got other charges and stuff too. That probably why they holding him accountable
I
and not
don't
letting him
really know what
return.
they was into. I want to say something, but I ain't gonna. I'm gonna say it. She might have been a freak, bro. He might have tied that bitch up cause she. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, fuck. Nah, I mean, like that's just like that Diddy shit, man. They like, oh, he's horrible. She stayed for the money. She's a whore. And my granddad
Right.
taught me what a whore was. When it started with the dollar and end with the dollar, she's a whore. I'm sorry. She's still a lady, and you still supposed to do. You know what I mean? But she took the money. She knew what it was. Now they like, yeah, you supposed to feel
Right.
sorry for it. Vimy Man at home with his
I
feet
remember
up.
it.
Him and his partner done ran a train on some white girl. Took a dump on her head, and he like, I, I told her I give her $3 million. I ain't gave her but $1 million. She can't be happy with that. Look, Diddy over there like, please don't take all my money. What the fuck be talking about? Stop playing on me, man. And this shit going up. They've been asking, my cousin
Facts.
them been asking me how I feel. That's how I feel. It depends on what color you will. If the female matter or not. I got $2. I'm trying to stop saying bitch, but she's a whore, and the other one
Right.
is a whore because they took money and gifts. And if you take money and gifts, it makes you a whore by
Right.
definition. I'm just saying what the definition is.
Ain't no other way to put it.
Yeah, and they got
Different standards for the black man. You know that,
they
Tim.
got Poe Brock Lesnar off TV because he asked for a piss video to sign. He like, yo, I don't want to fuck.
Yeah.
I just want to see the whole piss song. But they done
They
hid his ass.
look. These folk got evidence on them up front that we know about. And still no charges been brought up. No real serious shit.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
They say Vince McMahon got more deal though than Puffy got baby oil, but they want me to like, come on, man. Put them
Like,
both on trial. Then I'll say, yeah, we doing something.
Right.
simple as black and white, my boy. You
You
know
know,
that.
yeah. The white one over there in the civil trial and the other one over there in jail. And what, they got him in Rikers?
Yep.
Oh, okay. How that shit work?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, if you from America, it makes sense. Shit. All right, so I'm gonna figure out a new transition. I don't even know where to go from here.
Talk about Money in the Bank, man.
Um, you go ahead. You can start. Give me your thoughts on Money in the Bank.
I, I, I feel like Naomi's was well deserved. I feel like she most definitely deserved that to get
Okay.
her finally get her title run. Seth Rollins
Hold
was
on.
too
Let me
obvious.
let
We
me
already knew
let me,
Seth
let me
Rollins was
stop you.
gonna
Let's go
win.
back a little bit. Naomi had a title run before now, but I will say this: her second best heel run I've seen so far. She did a run in TNA when they cut her. That nobody
Mm.
talks about that. I knew if they would let her be heel. I knew she had something for that ass, so I kind of expected this, but I did not expect to
She
win.
needed.
But I thought it was well deserved. Now I'm gonna give you some program. This is where they set
Right.
up the female Samoan dynasty. Her and Nia Jax are related through marriage by I want to say
The
Jimmy
Usos.
Uso. I'm gonna say right.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and the two Samoan sisters that work for Wild Women of Wrestling are coming up to
Uh-huh.
be free agents. So I can
Right.
see where it's going.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's something I actually want to say. I was waiting on them to actually try something like that. Maybe like a female
that's
bloodline or
exactly
something like
what it's
that.
gonna be, a female bloodline. People think the bloodline story over, but here's the
Nah.
key. We still in the bloodline story. They still calling fucking Paul Heyman the wise man. That's how you know it's Roman Reigns is still involved. They just got him on TV because he got his ass whooped.
Yeah, he's actually filming. I think he's actually filming a movie
Yeah,
right
so
now
he gonna
too.
be back when that's over and they figure out, how long they want to extend that 15 million. Because Tony's like, yeah, I give you 100.
Yeah, ain't nobody turned down no 100 million.
Man, that man will sign that contract on national TV tomorrow. Speaking of NXT,
Fact.
did you see Mariah May? She signed her contract on last NXT. How you feel about Mariah May jumping ship?
I just gotta wait and see, man. I gotta Shawn Michael do good with his booking and stuff on how you run NXT. We just gotta wait and
Hey, you
see.
notice when they bring you off AEW, I don't give a fuck if you Ricky Starks. I don't give a fuck if you Mariah May. I don't give a fuck if you are Ethan Page. The only person that debuted on WWE TV was Jade Cargill. Everybody else, your
Right.
ass is going to development. Your ass is going to learn what it's like to be a second class citizen before we bring you up here. Except
Right.
they didn't do Phoenix that way, and they didn't do Penta that way. But Phoenix is headed to NXT. They just tested the waters on that shit with that Triple A show. So he gonna get
Right.
a taste of it and they gonna eventually want to put the Lucha Brothers back together. So they both gonna end up back in
Yeah.
NXT because they gotta learn how to do shit the WWE way. They still be fucking up.
Right. Right. Especially Penta. I be looking at Penta sometimes like,
Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah.
kind of sketchy
He
right there how
tell
you
you
did
straight
that.
up zero fear and zero safety. He don't give a fuck about your safety. He gonna spike your
Fact.
motherfucking ass if you have to. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
He worse than Nia Jax. They talking about Nia Jax with the Yokozuna shit. Nigga, I don't want to take that from Pimp. I don't give a fuck if it's a chop.
Facts.
Nah, man, shit. Back in the day, wrestling looked violent as hell. I really thought the 400 broke.
I actually thought wrestling was
Yeah,
real.
cause I thought Dusty Rhodes got his leg broke. You know what I'm talking about? CJ, you remember that shit? 400 broke that motherfucker leg.
Yeah, yeah,
Now these
yeah.
motherfuckers be really busting blood vessels in their chests, trying to tell me it's
Oh, yeah.
strong style. No, motherfucker, you stupid. What you on? I don't know what you smoke.
Right.
It is supposed to be wrestling is a work. It's not real. You supposed to fool me into believing it's real. They did a better job in the '80s than you do now. They killed
Right.
kayfabe, and now people want to know too much. You know what I mean?
Right.
See, I'm a real wrestler. If I got that shit all around me, I don't really want to show off my office, but I got that shit all around me.
Right.
They killing this. It used to be a sport. You know what I mean?
Right.
The motherfucker, like CJ say, they used to be 5-star athlete, football player, baseball player. You go get the motherfuckers who's running track, and he one of the what the fuck, one of the band Von Erichs is a track star, one of the greatest wrestlers ever. You go pluck those athletes and teach them how to wrestle. They start plucking the motherfuckers and
Right.
start teaching them sports entertainment and strong style. Strong style is dumb as fuck. Stop beating yourself up. The fuck, bruh. Them motherfuckers I be watching that Chinese shit. Them motherfuckers sit there and do them for. I'm like, oh, he's stupid. Ain't no way in hell a fight
Right.
gonna break out, bro. You hit me like that in some shit that supposed to be a work. You know what I'm saying? No, we
Right.
gotta make it look real. No. We gotta make it look real. It don't have to be real.
Be real.
So
Right.
when they
Right. Right.
tell
Right.
me a
Right.
wrestler broke his leg, AEW, he got a concussion, AEW,
AEW.
boy, they don't give a fuck over there, boy. Nah,
They really don't.
Like you, Timber, like you said, it's like the old ECW type shit.
hey,
You
but
feel me?
R.I.P. to New Jet throwing the white ball off the motherfucking scalp. Oh, he trying to kill him.
Yeah, that's how they got their brand. So you know.
Right.
Yeah, but look, you getting all that money, and you gonna end up in a nursing home, and somebody else gonna spend it because they gonna be with your.
Hey, but look, you got a fan base that's what they love though. You know that, bro.
No, see.
That's always been around since wrestling. You remember back in the day? You old enough to remember the infomercial for the. Remember, you had to pay money to see that shit. They used to sell you the
Uh,
tapes, extreme backyard wrestling
okay.
and all that
What,
old
what,
type of shit.
what,
You
see,
feel me? And them folks sold millions of tapes, so you got a fan
so,
base for it. So you know it's kind of like if it's a demand, I got to
so,
supply it.
so
Somebody
what
gonna do it.
CJ is referring to is back in the 70s and 80s and the 60s, a guy by the name of the Original Sheik ran a promotion in Detroit, and he created hardcore wrestling. Let's say hardcore wrestling was not created by Mick Foley and Terry Funk. I'm sorry, folks. It was created by the Original Sheik, and then he brought along a guy by the name of Abdullah the Butcher, and they was using forks and knives and shit. But you didn't see
Mm.
that every fucking where, every fucking week. He wasn't stabbing a motherfucker in the head on TV with the fork. He was making sure 100,000 people or 30,000 people packed the fucking Superdome or wherever they was in Texas or Canada or Detroit. He made sure he made $100,000 to stab a motherfucker with a fork. So if you gonna do that shit, do that on the pay-per-view. I don't. And then if you 50-some years old, like the motherfucker Ed, aka Adam Copeland, that is Copeland is the dumbest wrestling name ever. But I get back to that. If you 50 years old and older, Don't jump off the cage, motherfucker. You already got the money. What the fuck?
Right.
Sting before he retired. I'm gonna do one last dive. I'm 65. I'm gonna dive through the Why?
Did you see Sabu's last
Man,
match?
hey, bro. Everybody on this podcast know I like to say, you know what I mean? I'm crippled. You know what I mean? Sabu crippled. He
Right.
could not get up and walk to the motherfucking ring, but yet still y'all had a hardcore match. And he was on some synthetic shit they sell at the gas station. A 65-year-old motherfucker. I said it when he died, man.
Right.
Fuck Joe. I forgot the nigga name. He's such the indie wrestler. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, bitch ass white. Fuck you. I forgot your
You
name
could
because
look at
you.
the
I
condition and
forgot
say
your
he was
name
in.
because you that insignificant in wrestling history. But you fucking killed
R-
Sabu, you piece of shit.
Right.
Yeah, I watched the match. They a couple of friends of mine, they sent me the link. They wanted me to see it. Yeah, I think it was the most disgusting shit I ever seen. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna
Right.
turn on some on Wednesday night, and they gonna probably top that shit because they use the Midnight Express and shit. The Midnight Express was old when they started.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea to use a 65-year-old man in a wrestling sport. I'm sorry, unless he's the commentator, referee, or manager. And if he's the manager, he should be handled
Right.
like they do Paul Heyman. Paul just started doing shit.
Yeah. Paul Heyman always been a sit back
Yeah, that's
type.
why he fat. He wasn't fat like that in the 80s and the
Mhm.
90s. He got fat in the 2000s when he started sitting back. I guess out of time and dream and told the
Yeah.
world he wanted to kill you, you decided to eat yourself in the happiness. You know, more power to you.
Hey man, what color Paul Heyman in?
Yeah, he one of them.
Okay then. Hey, and then go all back to what Jim Ross told him. What Jim Ross told
Wrestling
you,
is a
boy?
white man's sport.
All right then. He ain't lying. Stop playing. It's everywhere you look. Hey Tim, before we leave, let's go back to my point. Remember, I called you personally. I felt some type of
Hey,
way
look.
about this shit. How they did Rey Mysterio. Remember, me and you talked about
Oh,
it, Nick.
Right.
Come on, man.
hey,
This
look.
man is a legend.
One.
Right.
This man is a legend, and y'all let him go
Check
out
this out.
as a
Check this out.
disgrace, man. All the flipping and jumping that man done did for the company, man.
Right.
And this how y'all chose to let him go out. His son beat his ass and
Hey,
disrespected him
they
and
roll,
all kind.
they
Come on,
roll,
bro. Razors are
they
better than
roll,
this
they
shit.
roll Rey
Right.
Mysterio ass out on YouTube, son. They got 1 million Rey Mysterios now. Shit, that's the new mascot. Boy, look,
Man, yeah, but come on, man. You supposed to take care of your legends, man. Rey Mysterio is a bona
super
fide
for that.
legend.
The number 2 luchador in the world, Rey Mysterio, is one of the greatest of all time. Again, I'm 44. I saw.
Of my generation,
Yeah,
he's the greatest.
Yeah. My generation is so
I saw
great.
Tiger Mask. Y'all call him Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah,
Jesus,
Eddie. Yeah,
boy, that
yeah,
shit he did in China, Jesus fucking Christ. Eddie Guerrero was phenomenal, but Rey
yeah.
Mysterio is right there.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember Eddie's in
right,
the store before he took the
right,
mask
yeah,
off.
yeah. Rey Mysterio
Yeah,
is
definitely.
the man. And again, they used Dom to step over his daddy and push himself somewhere. And then they
Right.
continue to shit on him with all these other luchas and all these other mid carders and weird shit. And again, they rushed him out there as they lucha mascot, let him wave at the world on YouTube and get your ass out, you know, because yeah, they got 1 million Rey Mysterios now.
Right.
Yeah, you seen that last night.
Yeah, they are conditioning the world to understand that lucha wrestling will now be done on the WWE rules. And the WWE went and bought the number 1 lucha promotion in the world. In the history of lucha, AAA is the number 1 promotion. And they showed them
Right.
that they were just a mid-card jobber squad. You work with our development brand and you better be happy about it. We tell
Right.
you when you over, Joe Henry. You don't tell us when you over. The people don't tell us when you over. We tell you.
Mm.
Well, the people told you about Ron Killings. I ain't gonna call him R-Truth no more. I'm gonna call him Ron. And they selling a T-shirt.
Down the
They
line.
selling a T-shirt online, calling him Ron Killings.
Mm.
So maybe he ain't a joke no more. Maybe he got so much of Vince's money. He like, His last run, y'all let John do John. Let me.
All right. We go see how this turn out though. I'm actually pretty
All
excited.
right,
True
so check
came
this
back.
out, Nick. When W and that, when double and then when AEW versus WWE happen in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have you back and you tell me how you like it. Hey, how did you like Hangman Page beating Will Ospreay?
It was okay. So I'm kind of exploring with Will Ospreay. I actually got into Hangman Adam Page with him and the Swerve Strickland beef. I
Oh,
can't really give you too
you
much
never
on that
seen
because
Hangman before then?
no, I
Okay,
never seen
okay.
him before AEW.
Ring,
No, was he
Ring
in
of
TNA?
Honor, New Japan. Go. He was in the fucking Bullet Club. It might be worth
Okay, I know of the Bullet
it might
Club.
be worth looking at online.
Okay,
You say you heard of the Bullet Club? You know who they is?
yeah, yeah, I know of the Bullet Club. Kenny Omega. Yeah,
Hold on,
I'm
hold on,
actually a
hold on, hold
Kenny
on, hold
Omega
on, hold on.
guy.
When you start with the Bullet Club and you start with Kenny Omega, go back to the creator of the Bullet Club name is Finn Balor. I mean Prince Devin. I mean Finn Balor. And
Yeah, Finn Balor.
then he paired that thing to AJ Styles. And then they got the Kenny Omega. Like, go back and check out the
Uh huh.
AJ Styles and Kenny because they got an Adam Cole in there too. Then a little Cody. So you'll get all kind of shit. You get Cody cussing. Go check out the real Bullet Club. Oh, Tonga.
Okay. Okay.
One of the yeah,
Tonga Law.
him, Finn Balor.
Yeah, I know you remember the
Yeah,
Bullet
him,
Club.
Finn Balor, and
Luke
Machine
Gallows and
Gun. Luke wasn't even there yet. He hadn't even got cut. He came later. They had Machine Gun first. He was a solo motherfucker. Then they put him with Luke.
okay.
They had Big
Okay.
Bad Luck Fale. You might not know him. He another Samoan motherfucker. He like
Somebody tall
he
guy.
tall and he big. He like what if Doug from the West Side Connection was a Samoan and 6'4" and like 4'5". That's just what the fuck he looked like.
Okay. Okay.
He's still in New Japan.
Okay.
Hikuleo, I don't know what else to call him. Hikuleo is 7 foot tall. Last time I seen him, he was like 260. Um,
Uh.
he's in the WWE. We just ain't seen him yet. He was in the Bullet Club too, and he brothers with Tugaloa
Uh.
and whatever the fuck they call the other one. I forgot. The Gorillas of Destiny. That's their name.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, check out the Bullet Club and check out
Okay.
Butch Reed, and I'm gonna have you back on. And thank you for coming.
All
Yeah.
right. All right,
All
my man.
right, see you. I'm gonna holler at you, man. And hey,
All right, bro. Appreciate you, my dude.
congratulations. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, appreciate
Yeah.
that, my guy.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. All right.
All right.